What's up, Boulder, Colorado? Happy Wednesday. Today, we've got a bunch of good news stories for you that you're going to love, so make sure that you're tuned in and listening. I'm also going to talk to you guys about where I've been, but our first story is about something that you guys are going to really enjoy. Coach Prime with a very strong message about recruiting and kids who decommit from his program. We're also going to talk about Shador Sanders and a few other things. So grab you a jelly donut, sit back, and relax because today is the prime time for college football. Our first story today is about Coach Prime talking about when kids decommit or pick to not be at his school. He recently said something that I think is really strong, and I want you to listen to his words here.
A kid ain't even faithful to his girlfriend. You think he gonna be faithful to a school? Like, come on, man. Like that's like an emotional thing. You know what I wish the NCAA would do, honestly. If you're committed to somewhere, you can't go to no other visits. I wish that would be like if you're committed, that means you're committed. You can't go no other visit. So why would you be committed, but you still let kids go to other places? That don't make sense. So that means they just playing. They just playing. And one thing about it, we're not an ATM. That's not gonna happen here. If you come to Colorado to play football for me and the Colorado Buffaloes because you really want to play football and receive a wonderful education, and all the business stuff is going to be handled on the back end if that's the case. But we are not an ATM. You're not coming here to get rich unless you really come here with a plan to go to the NFL and get your degree. Not to come here and be money bag yo. Okay? Is that a rapper, right?
It is, man.
I got that one right. I don't even know it, but that was a good timing of it.
Now, a strong message, and Twitter and social media and Instagram and everything else is blowing up with what Coach Prime said here. And they're pulling up guys that he flipped or people that he got to transfer in. And I don't think that they're quite grasping what Coach Prime is saying here. I think it's more about a mindset of the focus that Coach Prime wants. And what Coach Prime's job is right now is to turn the Colorado football program around. We're going to talk about how he feels he's done there in another video this week, but I think that his idea in saying this is very much so, you're either on board with me or you're not. You're either focused on what I'm focused on or you're not. And that is the way that we move around here. He believes that for not only the recruits that he's trying to get to come to Boulder, but he believes that for the players on his roster as well. He wasn't afraid to call out Cormani earlier in the year and basically say, hey, get on board with the program. Now, I don't think he'd publicly do that to a coach or staff member because of the respect level. You don't want to make a mockery of somebody in the media or the public and then have kids questioning them too. But I believe that's the same standard he holds his coaches and staff to as well. I think it's a big deal, and I think folks are somewhat misinterpreting, mishearing what Coach Prime is saying here. At the end of the day, he wants kids that are locked in with his vision. And if you're not, then he doesn't want you there. He wants you to be committed to what he's building. And if that's not the place for you, then go ahead. Go somewhere else. Now, not only is Coach Prime able to be super direct and super to the point with things like this, but he's also able to laugh and have a little bit of humor that he gets into as well. And this was hilarious. Coach Prime got a little bit confused where Mount Rushmore was. Take a look at this clip.
As you said, you didn't live up to your expectations.
Yeah, my expectations are out of the darn park. You gotta understand, man. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
What's those little foreheads that's in California? What do they call those? The people faces engraved? Yeah. Come on, man.
South Dakota.
I sat up there. It's in where?
South Dakota.
I thought it was in LA all this time. Wow, my geography. That's the Hollywood thing? That's what I thought. I'm sorry. Thank you for educating me. Jesus, South
We're
Dakota.
going to attribute that.
This was hilarious. And Coach Prime was completely caught off guard, completely just laughed at himself, completely made a joke about himself. And I found this hilarious. I think a lot of times coaches and different people are so, like, they have such this big persona, and they can't be proven wrong, or they can't be told wrong, or they can't be made fun of, or a joke can't happen at their expense. Coach Prime embraced this. Did you hear what he said? I wasn't very good at geography. Shows you how good I am at geography. Hilarious. And doesn't take himself so seriously. And this is a man who has lost several games in a row, just came off being sick. If anybody was able to be down, it would probably be him. But he made a funny mistake, and he laughed at himself. And it's probably a pretty good lesson for all of us as well. When the haters or the doubters, or even just your friends or family, give you a hard time or you screw something up, it's truly not the end of the world. The entire world watches Coach Prime's press conferences, and we literally make videos about them on this channel because we want to amplify the message, but he wasn't worried about who might see him make a mistake. He laughed at it and moved on, and that's probably a pretty good lesson for all of us as well. All right, next up, he was asked about Shador Sanders. He was asked about when Shador may be back. Let's play that clip.
Yeah, Shador is not feeling well right now. It's a day-by-day situation with Shador. You know, we're praying that he gets healthy and he's able to play, because he is who he is, and when he's on the field, we have a tremendous chance to win.
So, Coach Prime says he's day-to-day, and here's what I want in this game. If Colorado had a chance to get to a bowl game by winning this game, if they had won last week, or if they had 5 wins just in general, I'd be pushing pretty hard for Shador to play in this game. But in all honesty, I want what's best for his long-term health. And if his long-term health is somehow risked in this game, I just don't think it's worth it for him to go out there and play. Now, if he feels ready, I fully support that. And I fully am excited about him getting out there and mixing it up and seeing us one more time have a chance to go out and win. We know there's no bowl, and we're all a little bit disappointed by that. I get it. But to go from 1 win to 5 wins would be massive. And if they can find a way to do that this weekend, and Shador at quarterback, or if he doesn't play, I'm be cheering for the team to go out and win. So we're in a wait and see mode. We don't know just yet. We don't know as of Tuesday night when I'm recording this, Wednesday morning when you're watching it. But it sounds like they're going to try and get him to give it a go. Now, if he goes, I need the offensive line to play with their heads on fire. I need them to play better than they've played all year. And it's not because we want to make a bowl. It's not because we have some great aspirations. It's not because of anything else. It's just to protect their leader, and it's just to protect the kid that is truly the heart and soul of this team. The fact that he's even trying to or considering playing when there's no more bowl eligibility left, there's nothing else for him to really prove this year. He's already been one of the best quarterbacks in college football. The fact that he's willing to go out and lay it on the line and play one more time should inspire this offensive line to take it up a notch. At the end of the day, that is what he needs. Utah's got a nasty defense. We're going to talk about that. And the offensive line better be ready to play if Shador's out there. They better be ready to play either way, but they have to protect the general there in Shador Sanders. All right, Coach Prime, next up, dropped a little bit of a bombshell. I'll tell you about that in just a moment, but you might be saying, TJ, this looks a little different than where you're normally at. Well, I've been off for a couple of days. I took some vacation. I came up and brought my family to the mountains of North Georgia. Been trying to figure out a way to set up and do this. I'm in a basement right now. You see it's super dark, so I'm sorry for not being here for a couple of days. I'm sorry that I didn't get to rant about that game on Friday night, but I've been in the mountains. Service hasn't been very good. I've been trying, but we're here with you now. So hopefully it's a good reminder to you, take some time off from time to time. It's okay if you miss a couple of days here or there. Take your family on vacation. Do whatever you can do. Sometimes it's good to get away just a bit. But I'm back now, and we'll be back with you for the rest of the week, going into the off season coming up on Sunday. Okay. Coach Prime dropped a little bit of a bombshell this week. I want you to hear about that.
Could you speak a little bit to the fact that the Prime effect keeps coming back? Even something as quintessentially important to the sneaker culture as that shoe, because it changed a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
And is there any chance your current Prime effect can influence a black and Colorado gold colorway?
Yes. That may be in the works. You got to understand the black and white ones were the first original.
Yeah.
Okay, so you put a little gold check on it and we good. Yes, that will happen. It's going to happen real soon. We're happy with our newfound relationship with Nike and what they've done for this university. The new uniforms for next season as well is phenomenal. That matches the cleats and so forth. So all the skill positions will be wearing cleats as well as the tennis shoe version. So Nike's doing a phenomenal job of outfitting us all, and it's going to be good. So I don't know about the effect, but I'm thankful. So every time you think we losing, we wind up winning. Every darn thing you think, well, they losing. No, baby. It's how you look at it. It's how you look at it.
Now, I'll tell you guys, I don't really care about new uniforms. That's not something that makes me super, super excited. I don't care what the kids wear. I just want to see them playing and playing well. I'm excited about next year. I'm excited about what they're going to be able to do in their first year in the Big 12. But the uniform thing doesn't really matter to me too much. Now, if it does to you, great. I have no problem with that. But I'll tell you who does care about it. The kids on the team. The recruits coming in, the transfers that they're going to be talking with here in just a couple of weeks when the transfer portal window opens. It's going to be crazy. Make sure you're locked in with the channel because you don't want to miss any of that. But I'm telling you, kids care about this. New uniforms are going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait to see them. I've heard a couple of things about them. Not going to say anything just yet. That's keeping my mouth closed on it. But I'm excited about the new uniforms. Coach Prime talked about them today. There's a little bit of a buzz, a little bit of a fire out there about them. Going to be exciting to see the team in those, again, in their first year in the Big 12. All right, last up today, we're going to talk about what Coach Prime said and how he ended his final weekly press conference of the season. Go ahead and roll that clip.
So Colorado Buffalo fans, I love you. I appreciate you. We're going to win. Just put your seatbelt on. Because the ride going to get a little shaky. It's going to look bumpy. But we're going to win. But the climax that we gave you early on, we're going to get you back there. Because I know you liked that ride, didn't you? We're going to get you back there. So we have the same passion, the same purpose, and we're going to win. Just hold on. And this is going to be a great ride. God bless y'all. Let's have a beautiful...
Coach Prime ends his press conference, his last weekly press conference. He'll obviously do one more next week after the game against Utah. But his last weekly press conference of the team getting ready, and he says, look, we're going to win. It may take some time. Put your seatbelt on, but we're going to get there. It's going to be a great ride. And I think Coach Prime knows this. Coach Prime, maybe not in our eyes. Maybe we wanted more out of this season. Maybe we wanted them to find a way to win one or two more games, and they were close. They were close against Stanford. They were close against Arizona. They could have found a way to win a couple of games. I get it. Had Travis Hunter been there, they were close against USC. Lost that by one score. Maybe it wasn't quite the season that we wanted, but remember, Vegas had this team winning 3 games this year, and they exceeded. Now, they barely exceeded, but people were saying this was a 1 or 2 win team, and they did go over some people's expectations. They went over Vegas's expectations. And what does year 2 look like? Now, we all wanted a really quick rebuild. We all wanted this thing to be playoffs this year. Probably just wasn't based in reality once you saw the roster together. Just didn't have enough in the trenches to really get that done. And you saw it this year. But Coach Prime knows what it takes to be successful. And he's already put this team on a path to be able to do that. However, the work is not done yet. Recruiting has to take off. You have to see them strike in the transfer portal again this year. Now, what do the next few weeks look like? What does the second year of Coach Prime look like? Well, the second question is going to be answered by the first one. How the next few weeks look in recruiting and the transfer portal and potential coaching changes and different staff shakeups. What happens over the next 6 to 8 weeks is really going to mold what year 2 looks like for Coach Prime. And I would be crazy to think that Coach Prime doesn't already have some of those moves in mind and kind of know which direction he wants to go with some of those moves. But it's going to be a fun ride. These last few weeks have not been a ton of fun as far as the results go, but the team has continued to get better. I know there was a little bit of a setback in that game. Once Shador went out, it's hard for me to really judge too much on that game. That's why we didn't do a outside of just being on vacation. It's hard to do an instant reaction to something when your best player was out, and so you just really never had a chance. But the team did get better as the season went on. They started really hot, and this was a fun year. It was a fun year covering the Buffs. But what does next year look like? And what does this offseason look like? Is the media hype going to build back up? I'm sure it will. Will we be here every step of the way to talk about it? Absolutely we will. We're going to have a lot of fun. We appreciate you guys for riding with us all year. Going to try and get you something out tomorrow. I know it's Thanksgiving Day. We'll have a preview on Utah that drops on Friday, so make sure that you're locked in with the channel. If we don't see you on Thursday, have a great Thanksgiving. We appreciate you guys. Let us know down in the comments something you're thankful for. Not Coach Prime. You're not allowed to say Coach Prime because that would be everybody's answer. I get it. Thank you guys for tuning in to the prime time for college football.